Well, Marty, we're looking ahead to West Bromwich Albion on Wednesday evening, going on into it on the back of 3 wins on the spin. Now, I remember previously when we had a similar trend since you joined us, that during that period you were talking about not only the importance of being humble, but also acknowledging it is not always going to be like this and we need to be ready for that. Hopefully this will continue for another 11 games, but is it important to be mindful of that again?
It was exactly the message that we are sharing with the players today, and I think that everybody knows that last time we got 3 in a row. Perhaps someone could think that this will be easy, and this league is so difficult, it's so challenging. So we are very aware that whatever we achieved last weekend is not going to help us to win tomorrow, because actually I expect perhaps an even more difficult game against West Brom. They're in a very good trend, they're a very competitive side. They play with high intensity, they are defensively strong, very good on set pieces. It's a difficult game, so to expect that just a good trend of results will help us to win the next one. Look, what I know is that the players will give their best, in the sense that I know that we have been always competing well. Even on our worst games, the team has been always close to get some points. That's for sure important. Whatever we have achieved so far is not enough, because we're going to need a lot of points until the end of the season, and that's where my focus is right now.
You'd like to have the ball and to dominate possession. Obviously that wasn't the approach against Leicester. How much pleasure did you take from your players being able to demonstrate another way to win a game?
I want to praise them because it's a difficult game to play, because they need to run a lot, they need to keep high focus and concentration for 95 minutes. And this is a mental fatigue that carries along the game. So I want to praise them, because it was not easy to just make sure that we were always closing those pockets, being so disciplined again and again. Every time they find a 1v1 on the side, we need to run back to help 2v1 and so on. So most of the situations we consider was just shots from distance that are almost impossible to block. But I want to praise the players for the fantastic effort, the flexibility, because it's not our regular approach, but we knew that Leicester is in terms of quality, individual quality, a Premier League side, and we had to adapt. So having this capacity to understand the game scenario was very important. But if you ask me if I really enjoy, not that much. I enjoy to pick the 3 points, except that perhaps that was the best chance for us to pick the points. But it's not the kind of identity that we want to build over time. Despite, it's very good to have this flexibility.
How much did you enjoy, after the final whistle, stood alongside your players in front of the 3,000 travelling fans?
I'm happy for the fans and I'm happy for the players, because they deserve the fans, because they made a fantastic effort for 95 minutes, supporting us, helping us on a long trip, just to help us, and they have been proving so far that they will be so important to achieve our target at the end of the season. And for the players, because as I said, they had to run a lot, so I'm pleased for them. But I said before, the support personally I've been receiving since I came, and my staff, it's unbelievable. So we can just say thanks and keep on going together, because I think that someone spoke this week about togetherness, and that's exactly the word that I say will define the moment that we feel. I don't know if we're going to win tomorrow, we're going to try our best, but I'm sure that we're going to stay together as a team, as a club, until the end.
On Wednesday night, the club will be remembering and honouring Stan Bowles, who sadly passed away. You'd be forgiven for not knowing who Stan was prior to coming to QPR, but he was someone that you were aware of when you were in Spain.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not an expert on English football during the 70s, 80s, but I think that I don't know if it's because of Terry Venables' connection with FC Barcelona, but everybody, I would say, football people knows about the good trend of QPR during those years, and how important was Stan in achieving this status in English football, and how a special kind of player he was. So definitely I was aware about him and his quality as a player.
And of course, since joining QPR, and certainly over the last couple of weeks, you will have learned a lot more. What did you make of the man?
Fantastic human being, and for me that's always come first, and that's a lot, because he was a top player. But I've seen a lot of clips a lot of videos over the last weeks, and he was definitely someone who, perhaps as a football fan, I would pay a ticket just to see him playing. So, but knowing how good he was as a person for the team, funny personality, always supporting the teammates. definitely a legend, and I think that the legacy and the identity of the clubs are built on players and people like him.
How important is it that the emotion that will be swirling around the stadium on Wednesday evening is used to help your players rather than potentially hinder them?
I think it's just an extra motivation for us. I don't think it will provoke any kind of distraction, just the opposite. I think we have a lot of reasons, trust me, a lot to win tomorrow, to try to pick the 3 points, but this is a big extra one to try to honour a legend of the club.
And it is a very important game, of course. QPR only 1 defeat in 8, West Brom only 1 defeat in 7. They're pushing to cement a playoff place. While sharing points with the team third from bottom, we're also only 6 points off the top half. It's a crazy division, even by the Championship standards. How are you viewing this one?
Well, first of all, West Brom is a very good competitive side, and we need to be aware that the game will be perhaps even more difficult than the last Saturday, because the way they play will be extremely demanding. They are aggressive the way they press, they are very good on set pieces, they can adapt to the game scenario in different ways, in a very smart way actually, so it will be a difficult game. They are pushing to get into the playoffs, and that shows the quality they got right now. Said that, it's true that we are in a good trend, but whatever we achieved yesterday will not help us. So the focus is try to be our very best version tomorrow. And said that, the division is so demanding. We knew that. It's demanding because a lot of games. It's demanding because this season it seems that probably we're going to need to pick a lot of points to achieve the target, and because it's true that the team is showing progress, but once again there is a lot of teams as well picking a lot of points. So I think the best we can do right now is just to focus in ourselves, to make sure once again that we focus in our performance, that we play the football that we want to play, that we do in the right way the things that we want to do, and from there making sure that we can keep on going after the game against West Brom.
And just finally, with regards to team news, you spoke about how mentally and physically exhausting playing at Leicester was on Saturday. This is the second of a 3-game week. Are you looking at what is a very strong bench and considering potential changes?
Yeah, it's always part of the equation. And obviously when a team is in a good trend, it's more difficult to make a lot of changes. But at the same time, I think that now I got to know more the players, the squad, and how I can get the best of them in these kind of weeks with demanding games in few days. And as I said before, this will be a team effort. So no matter who will start tomorrow, it's going to be very important who will finish the game, and the same we can say about the next game on Saturday. So we always consider all those things, and whoever will play, I'm sure they will deliver.